You think intelligence is your greatest weapon, but it's actually your cage.
Right now, while you're polishing your logic, sharpening your arguments, and rehearsing explanations, someone colder, quieter, and far less impressive on paper is already moving pieces you don't even see. They are not smarter than you, but they understand one truth you refuse to accept. Truth doesn't win. Clarity doesn't win. Being right doesn't win. Control wins, and control never announces itself. You've been trained to believe that if you explain yourself well enough, if you present your ideas cleanly and prove your worth with facts, the world will reward you. That belief is not just naive, it's dangerous, because every time you open your mouth to explain, you leak information. You reveal your internal blueprint. How you think, what you fear, what triggers you, what you need. And the moment someone understands your pattern, you are no longer a threat. You become a system they can predict, manipulate, and eventually override. Meanwhile, there is always someone else in the room. They barely speak. They don't rush to prove anything. They don't interrupt. They don't compete for attention. They sit still, almost invisible. But their eyes are never still. They are mapping everything. Who dominates? Who hesitates? Who seeks approval? Who flinches when challenged? Who laughs too quickly? Who fears silence? That person is not participating in the conversation. They are studying it. And when they finally speak, it is not to contribute, it is to conclude. That is why they win. Not because they know more, but because they reveal less. Centuries ago, a man dissected this reality with surgical precision, not as philosophy, but as survival. He understood that intelligence without influence is just noise in a world that only responds to pressure and positioning. You can be brilliant and still be ignored. You can be insightful and still be replaced, because power is not drawn to knowledge. Power is drawn to those who know how to move without exposing themselves. Once you see that, you can never unsee it. So listen carefully. This is not advice. This is correction. First, you will stop explaining completely, not gradually, not selectively. You will cut it out like the weakness it is, because explanation is not clarity. It is exposure. When you explain, you are not just sharing ideas, you are revealing your internal structure. You are showing people exactly how to navigate you, where to press, where to wait, where to attack. Power does not belong to the person who speaks the most. It belongs to the one who understands the most while saying the least. In every room, the one who holds control is not the loudest voice, but the final voice. The one that speaks after everyone else has unknowingly revealed themselves. So you will learn to sit in silence without discomfort. You will watch without reacting. You will let people talk themselves into exposure while you remain unreadable, because what they don't understand, they cannot control. And what they cannot control, they respect. Second, you will delay your reactions. Not to appear calm, but to become dangerous. Immediate reactions are emotional reflexes. They are predictable, and anything predictable can be manipulated. When someone provokes you and you respond instantly, you are not defending yourself. You are surrendering control of the timing. Real power exists in the gap, the space between stimulus and response. In that space, you decide whether the situation deserves your energy, your attention, your retaliation. And more importantly, you decide when. Because timing is strategy. When you don't react immediately, you create uncertainty. And uncertainty is pressure. People expect resistance. They expect emotion. When they get none, their confidence fractures. They start questioning themselves. Just like that, the control shifts. You are no longer reacting to them. They are reacting to your silence. Third, you will master the art of listening. Not to respond, but to extract. Everyone is desperate to be seen, to be heard, to be validated. And in that desperation, they expose everything. Their fears hide inside their complaints. Their insecurities leak through their jokes. Their desires reveal themselves in what they admire and what they envy. You don't need to interrogate people. You simply need to remove your own need to speak. Ask questions that open doors, then step back. Let them walk through. Let them fill the silence. Because silence makes people uncomfortable, and uncomfortable people over-explain. Once you understand someone at that level, their patterns, their triggers, their hidden motivations, you don't need to fight them. You can move around them. You can guide outcomes without resistance. That is influence in its purest form. Fourth, you will create distance. Not physical distance, but something colder. You will be present, but never fully available. Engaged, but never entangled. Most people are emotional mirrors. They absorb whatever energy is thrown at them. But when you maintain true distance, you become unaffected, untouchable. Someone can bring chaos to your doorstep, and you will not open the door. You acknowledge it, but you do not absorb it. That is where dominance begins. Not in aggression, but in immunity. Fifth, you will eliminate the need to announce your standards. Words are cheap. Declarations are invitations for negotiation and exploitation. Real standards are invisible. They are enforced through behavior, not speech. When someone disrespects you, you don't lecture them. You reduce access. You shift your energy. You remove your presence. No warning, no explanation, just consequence. Sixth, you will learn to disappear. Not dramatically, but strategically. Constant presence destroys value. When you are always available, you become predictable. But controlled, intentional absence creates tension. It creates curiosity. When you step back, people recalibrate. They wonder where you went, whether they misstepped. Your value rises. You are no longer a constant. You become a variable, and variables demand attention. Finally, you will redefine kindness. Because what you call kindness is often fear in disguise. Fear of conflict, fear of rejection, fear of being seen as difficult. Real kindness is not random, it is selective, it is intentional, it is controlled. You give fully to those who have earned it, but you deny it without guilt to those who haven't. Your time, your energy, your presence, these are not free resources. They are assets. And assets are protected. When people cannot predict your generosity, they begin to value it. They begin to respect it. Because what is not guaranteed becomes significant. This is not about becoming cold. It is about becoming precise. It is not about manipulation. It is about awareness. The world is not driven by fairness or logic. It is driven by perception, timing, and control. Intelligence alone will not save you. It will not elevate you. It will not protect you. Only when it is sharpened into strategy, silent, calculated, and controlled, does it become real power. And real power does not speak loudly. It does not explain itself. It does not seek validation. It moves quietly. It observes everything. And when it acts, it does so with precision that leaves no room for resistance. That is the shift. That is the difference. That is the line between being seen as smart and being impossible to ignore.